The Dead American Podcast is brought to you by no one, because we don't have any sponsors.
Yep.
But what we can tell you is, we don't have anything to tell you just yet.
Yeah. So,
play the intro music. And we're back. All right. So I guess this is like the first actual official one. Because it's like those first couple were god awful.
Yeah. All right. So
we had Depression Cast.
Just for all naming purposes, this is Colin Coleman. To my right in this big crazy room is Mark A. Howard.
I feel like we should it's the Dead American Podcast. You short it to the DAP. I feel like this should be the PAD, the Palace of American.
The Palace of American.
That sounds even more jihadist than the name already is. Somebody asked me, where did y'all get the name the Dead American Podcast? And I was like, it was the coolest one that we could come up with. Because we had the Macabre Podcast.
Yeah.
And we had the Macabre Film Studios, and those douchebags in Houston stole it from us. Do you remember that?
I mean, I remember that. Yeah, you were looking through and you're just like, damn it, somebody already has it.
I know. Because it was like one of those low budget like horror flicks. And I was like, oh, this sounds awful. This will be something good to watch later. You know, it's just like bad movies. You rent the worst movie out there. It's always the one with like Slasher 7 with that one chick from, Saved by the Bell or something like that. That she's only in the movie for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Basically, Ving Rhames' career after Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, basically.
Where it's just like, oh, you're having a horror movie? All right, I'll be a character.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead 9.
He's just like, oh, wait, you're making a movie about killer piranhas in 3D? I'll be in it.
Are there boobs? That's the only thing we need to sell this movie. How many boobs are in it? 1. What out in the other one? It gets eaten off.
Works for me.
Sell it. Direct to video. Breakfast was terrible this morning.
For those at home that don't know, we were basically, we were eating a senior breakfast.
Not like the senior discount.
Not a senior discount.
The high school thing.
It's our senior year of high school and we were doing that. And
it was pitiful. It was absolutely one of the... Like, the eggs had the consistency of
the eggs weren't even eggs. They were instant eggs.
It was like that McDonald's, like, poured out of a jar sort of thing.
Yeah, they were like...
The bacon tasted like ash.
The bacon? Nah. I think you just chose the wrong food. Because I kind of like my food. It wasn't horrible, but...
The only thing that
passable.
Had any substance in that entire thing was the yogurt.
Well, yeah.
And they had like grapefruit out of a can, and it was very obvious it was out of a can. So...
Yeah, I didn't really go for the fruit. I'm just like, I'm going to get my French toast. French toast with the powdered sugar was okay. It wasn't fantastic.
It didn't even look at it. It looked like it was burnt.
It didn't taste burnt.
Okay.
It was just,
Potatoes are salty.
Delicious.
But I mean,
it works fine for me. I like my salty potatoes.
It's not even free breakfast, because we were talking about that. It was like, hey, we got free breakfast. No, we didn't. We paid $100 to eat shitty food.
The coffee was good, though.
Coffee was good. That Irish cream. I like Irish cream.
I just drink it black.
Like you like your men?
Oh. You jitty person, you.
Jitty.
But for all intents and purposes, I am not homosexual despite my co-host trying to play me off like that.
He just won't accept my advances. That's how this usually works. That's how it's always kind of worked.
That's kind of how it's always worked.
The squid hat and all that.
Yeah.
So, we should take a picture of that and put it as the thing.
It'll be the background banner.
Yeah, the background banner. It's the skull. It's our little Punisher logo of America.
And in the background behind the skull is you with the skeleton
with
the squid hat.
Yeah.
That's basically that. But
whoa. Jesus, I almost fell out of my chair. That would have been bad.
Yeah. You almost did fall out of your chair.
It is the Dead American Podcast.
I mean, you would have picked like my closet.
Yeah,
that would have been okay. Would have been okay. But yeah, the breakfast was just kind of mediocre. Wasn't the best. I've had worse.
That's why we.
I've had worse.
And they're putting the X's on our hand. It's like, sign up, come get in the line, so we can put the little X on your hand. And Denise is like, it's like the Holocaust.
And then
the Jews being thrown on the buses.
We all get sardine canned into these buses to go to the place we're eating breakfast at, and it's just like
there's this dude driving the bus,
and they mark us, and they're just like, "Are you on the list? You're on the list. Get on the bus."
You don't get on.
And they're just like, "Oh, you can only get on this bus. You can't get on that bus." So basically, it's like this really ominous kind of sort of slaughterhouse kind of feel, where it's just like everybody's got to go on this part to go here.
Do not pass the line. If you pass the line, you will be shot. If you, it's it's like one of those signs. It's like, warning: trespassers will be shot. If survived, we will now call the police.
And the thing is, the reason we had to ride on buses because they told us there wasn't going to be enough parking there. But over the entire park, there was enough parking. There just wasn't enough parking right next to the place we were eating. And they didn't trust people to wander around. I mean, like, some people have had to walk around. Oh, no.
It was probably to make sure that we just all left, because, we're teenagers, and, we might be going off into the woods to smoke that marijuana and whatnot. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's just all kind of pointless, and that basically leads to, school itself is kind of pointless sometimes, or at least it feels that way.
I tend to agree,
I understand the need of school, but at a point it just kind of feels like repetitive. You've done this.
X equals Y equals X? No way!
It's kind of like, I'm in pre-cal my senior year, and basically, this entire second semester has been regurgitating what I learned in Algebra 2 last year.
Yeah.
Word for word, lesson by lesson, what I learned the second semester of my...
What I learned in boating school is what I learned in boating school.
And it's basically just like, what is the point? English is the same thing. The only thing they add to English is more in-depth views on different books. There reaches a point where they stop teaching you about words and punctuation.
We're gonna read King Lear now. Go.
And they're just like, hey, this is British literature, because the British gave us such great literature that we have to keep going over British literature.
We're going to read the Canterbury Tales now. Why do we have to read that? Because it's old. You need to read an old book. Why?
The only book I'm looking forward is eventually this year our English teacher has told us that when we finish Pygmalion we're going to read 1984 by Orson Welles, and I'm just like,
Orson Welles wrote 1984?
I think it was Orson Welles.
George Orwell, dude. Orson Welles.
Okay, it's like the same. It's O's in the last name. It doesn't matter. I know it does matter, but at the same time, they're both dead, right?
Orson Welles? Yeah, Orson Welles is dead. You know who Orson Welles is?
Rosebud?
Yeah, Citizen Kane.
Yeah. I'm just like, Citizen Kane, right? It comes to me now.
George Orwell wrote Animal Farm, which everybody's seen. I liked it. I
thought it was okay.
That's a great book.
I think if you don't like history, you're not going to like Animal Farm. You have to have some sort of appreciation for satire and history to actually enjoy Animal Farm.
It's most people just wake up and it's like, yeah, I'll listen to Blurred Lines one more time.
Yeah, I'm just they're just it's kind of like the people that like their things cut and dry and easy, where it's just like, oh yeah, the good guys win, everything's safe.
1 + 1 = 2. Why?
Exactly.
Well, it's because 1 is a...
It's kind of like if you had... Say you had a donut. And somebody's just like, they had a donut. And you're just like, what if we put our donuts together? That would be 2 donuts. But you see, when you put those
Can you do
donuts...
2 donuts? Mind blown. Can you have 2 donuts? Why do you get 2 donuts?
You're hungry. I don't know.
It's kind of like, back to the point I was going to make, and then you start talking about donuts, and apparently Orson Welles wrote, the thing. I sort of understand why certain countries it's like, all right, you're going to go to school at 8th grade, and if you really care about your education, Didn't
You're
pass
gonna
this
take the
test?
test and pass.
Great. If not,
If
you're
not-
stocking boxes at the warehouse. We need more stupid people to be stocking boxes at the warehouse.
See,
it's like the people that walk in front of your car
I
when you're
just kind
driving.
of wish America would kind of jump on board with the rest of the world's education or take more hints from it. Because our education system is kind of just like, no kid left behind, so basically,
no kid left behind, but they're dropping out all
just
over
like,
the place.
No kid left behind, so you basically don't have the skills or the knowledge to pass this grade. But you did, like, kind of good in that one class, so we'll give you, like, kind of, sort of grade. America has this thing called
write us this
the
one paper.
minimal plan.
Yeah. The minimal
No
plan.
other country, to my knowledge, has a minimal plan where it's just like,
What's the least amount you can do
what's
to
the least
look
amount you can do
successful?
to pass high school? Like most of Europe, to my knowledge, and China, is basically just like, you have to hit like these marks, and if you don't hit these marks, you get sent to like a trade school or something, and you're just out of school, and you gotta work a normal day job like any other schmuck.
Poor schmuck. Yeah, I mean, look, because, there's nothing wrong with
There's
stocking
nothing wrong with
groceries.
that type of
There's
work.
nothing
Like,
wrong with running a
I
restaurant.
work that type of job
There's
when I have the
nothing-
time on my hand, and the people I meet at my job are cool people. They're decent folk. They're not bad. They're just working their job, making a paycheck.
Yeah. And some people just want to go to work. Some people don't have the need to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we need doctors and lawyers, but at the same time, we also need people that are going to be plumbers and garbage men. Think about this. How many people grow up and say, dude, I want to be a garbage man. There's something really appealing about garbage man. I mean, when is the next Playboy spread where it's just like, ooh, that sexy garbage man? I'll fill his trash. No, that never happens. You know why? Because people associate garbage men with that one, like, college dropout because he was smoking American Spirits in the bathroom or something like that.
I have a question about
That's
that.
not a plug for American Spirits, by the way.
Yeah, we're not paid to talk about American Spirits.
Yeah.
And if American Spirits would like to anything,
We'll smoke the sky.
not just like totally just like, all right, American Spirits.
You
just
send
like,
us cigarettes.
you do not agree with our opinions. We are no trying to reflect American Spirits Incorporated.
They start making our own buy dead American Spirits. Hey, that'd be cool. The Dead American Spirits. That's what we should have named the band.
Nah.
The Dead American.
I feel like we're on our way to becoming a conglomerate with the way you talk. Like, basically,
Dead American
we just keep, like,
LLC.
spreading out. And from my knowledge
We
of
just swap
macroeconomics,
out.
we're actually
We just
going...
swap out the last word.
We're
of
gonna become
everything.
we're gonna become a conglomerate at one point.
Dead American corn chips.
Dead American cigarettes. Dead American spirits. Our cigarette brand.
Yeah.
Dead American corn chips. Our potato chip brand. We're probably gonna come out with a hot sauce. Every rock band I know comes out with a hot sauce.
Yeah, Sammy Hagar's got tequila.
Just like everybody, Carlos Santana has wine, to my knowledge, right?
Yeah, Maynard James Keenan has wine.
Exactly. So it's like we're basically
Where are we
becoming a
plugging all
conglomerate.
these people? Where are we plugging these people? We're not sending us money.
Yeah.
And I know, like, when we started talking about, American education, China's got the right idea, somebody went, click! We start mentioning, send us cigarettes and we'll take the money and whatnot. Click! We're losing viewers all over the place. So we gotta bring them back. Tell us a joke, Colin. Tell us a
That's
joke.
not how the show works. We don't just kind of like, hey, humor us.
Joke monkey.
It's kind of like a monkey. We're not monkeys in cages where it's just like, do something funny, I'll throw you a banana. It's not how the show
Jab
works.
it with a stick, it'll laugh. I mean, I get the, like, Ted Cruz, for example. Ted Cruz wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Yeah, because that's
I'm
gonna
just like
advance the
Ted
country.
Cruz. Like, I'm just like, I don't even know what to think about him running for president. I'm just like, I think you're just a tad too conservative to win.
He wants to get rid of the IRS. Okay,
I can kind of see, because our tax system is, like, kind of needlessly complicated.
Yeah, I mean,
compared to other world tax systems, where it's just like, you should, like, pay this flat rate of your, like, income, and then boom, you're done. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, while their taxes
Instead of, like,
some taxes are ridiculous, like
the
England
IRS
and France and whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's like it's like what, like 40-50% or something like
Yeah.
that. But look at all the things they get. State health care.
Just like we don't have that because we don't have universal health care. We do have a state-run health care program, but it's not universal, and it's just kind of okay.
Like, you can go...
It's the same as getting insured elsewhere. And have you seen what they posted recently?
What?
It actually is bringing healthcare costs down.
What is it?
Obamacare is bringing healthcare costs down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody posted a study.
Yeah, because it's on the internet. It must be true.
No, I don't remember where I heard that.
Who was it? It was
like an actual person checked the prices.
Was it Jeb Bush or was it,
I'm just trying to...
Was it Jeb Bush or was it Ted Cruz that said, as soon as I get in the office when I become president day one, I am vetoing or I'm going to make Obamacare, I'm going to appeal Obamacare, and then he signs his family up for it.
Yeah, that was Ted Cruz.
Yeah, it was Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz, what are you even doing? Like, this issue was, like, something that began as soon as Obama became president. Like, it's over 15 years now. Just let it go, man.
It's like when here in Texas when they were campaigning for governor, who was the guy that was like, I'm gonna personally go up against Obama. I'm gonna take Obama on, full frontal and all that. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Fight him in the street? Is it gonna be like, Obama, come out and play? It's not the Warriors, man. It's not like we got spiked bats out there, hitting the little things together. So
just
stupid.
like, I'm a moderate personally, and I'm just like, sometimes, like, I think extremes are bad in general. Extreme liberals and extreme conservatives are bad for this country. Because there just reaches a point where you're so extreme that you're insane.
Right.
Like, Ted Cruz just like, I'm gonna appeal the IRS, and I'm gonna defend our borders, and I'm gonna put all this money into government defense, and I'm gonna take down the IRS and get rid of Obamacare, even though I'm on Obamacare, and then I'd become uninsured. And it's basically
and then
there reaches a point where you're too conservative, where you're so conservative, you're hurting yourself, sir. You need to, like, take a breath and just realize things need to be chill.
I'm helping the country. Really?
Or kind of like the extreme liberal, which is just like, let's change everything. Let's change defense. Let's change this. Let's change everything. I'm just like, whoa. Let's just, like, not change everything.
There's a reason
we do some things.
There's a reason certain things have been around.
We can't just, like, flip the entire table and expect everything to be okay on the afterwards.
It's kind of like how people say, we don't really need a monetary system. If we just did all bartering, that'd be okay.
People, I'm just
what are we gonna be exchanging? Blowjobs and cheeseburgers?
I kind of wish America would, like, force everybody to take macroeconomics.
Yeah,
because regular economics just doesn't really help. And I actually think, like, I've been thinking about it, I'm just like, a government run by macroeconomists would probably be a well-working, effective government.
Yeah, and some macroeconomics, this is somewhere just like, yes! And then some other dude who, goes home every night and, kisses the Republican elephant, like the cross for Catholics. Just like, I pray to the elephant.
No, he's probably just like, oh, Ronald Reagan. With your amazing conservative powers.
He's got Ronald Reagan.
And on his wall is like a picture of, like,
it's Ronald Reagan.
George Washington, Jesus, Abraham Lincoln, Jesus.
And Bruce Springsteen.
And Ronald Reagan. And he just prays to them every night.
Yeah.
For the salvation of his country from the socialist swine who have taken it over.
He drives a Ford, drinks Miller beer, and watches Roadhouse. Oh my gosh. But I mean, it's ridiculous in the long run. I probably said that a lot. It's ridiculous. But everything is ridiculous. Here's a thought. Alright, so why is it that you pledge allegiance to the American flag? Let's think about that. Well, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the Republic. So throw your democracy out the window.
See, I feel like that's the most...
democracy.
Okay,
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
That's the most
and
problematic
to the
thing about this
republic.
country. Just like,
We
I
didn't-
remember all through elementary school, just like, isn't it great? We live in such a great democracy. Woo, democracy!
It's a republic.
And then, like, the second you're, like, in high school, they're just like, it's all a lie. You've been living in a republic all these years. And it's just like, no! I was living in such an awesome democracy. What happened to my democracy?
It's not even really a democracy. Half the
It's
people
a
don't
republic.
vote.
Exactly. That's like the saddest thing when you're in government and they're just like,
Yeah.
only like 15% of this entire country votes. And I'm just like...
And then Obama's talking about making mandatory voting laws.
I actually don't have a problem with that.
Give me a tax cut and...
Like,
it's
basically,
like everybody
just
has to vote, and in response for voting,
people
we
have
will do a 1% tax cut. That doesn't sound like a lot, but 1%, hey, that's probably going to
Okay,
save some money
1%
somewhere.
is basically just like, hey, I make $100. Like, let's do it really small. 1% of 100 is $1. But
Right.
say your household takes in $100,000 a year, about an average middle-class household in
Right.
America. Or like an upper middle-class
So that's
household
like
in America. And that's like $1,000 you get to save.
Right.
And spend on other things. And everybody knows if you get a tax cut, you're spending that extra $1,000. You're not saving it.
Right. So, but I mean, I don't get the purpose of, if we live in a country where we can vote, then why is it that nobody does? I don't want to encourage them because I don't like the government anyway. Obama got in there and messed everything up.
See,
And it's
that's
like, well,
not
thank you,
how
Alex
this works.
Jones, for your conspiracy
I'm just like,
theories.
That's not how it works. Like, the way to fix your government isn't to be inactive in your government. You can't just be like, well, this sucks. What are we gonna do, though? It's not like we can vote or anything. It's not like we can make our opinions heard.
Yep, screw it.
Everything just sucks. I'm gonna complain while I lose all my rights and get spied on by the NSA.
Yeah.
America in a nutshell.
This got really political really fast.
I think because education is one of those very political topics, especially if you are part of the education system. Our teachers don't get paid enough, schools don't get enough money, and when the
that's why
schools do
teachers
get
don't
money...
care. That's why it's just like,
Yeah.
alright, we're going to do 5 vocabulary terms. You should already know them because we wrote them down yesterday. And, yeah.
Just
so
like they're
go
in
to
your
go
notes, we
Panthers.
went over them.
That's a reference nobody's going to get.
Yeah.
I just realized when I said that.
Yeah.
It's a local
But that
reference.
is the best class.
Local reference, jamming it up.
Yeah.
I don't care.
School basically hops between like two extremes. Basically, it's just like, do these 5 vocab words, or, hey, I'm not going to teach you in class, do it all on your own time, we're testing on Friday.
It's like...
It's between those two extremes. Like, there is no middle ground in school.
And then the people sitting in classrooms are just like, learn something, or screw it.
Screw it.
Screw it. It's like nothing makes sense anymore, and then we have laws that don't even, like, for example, did you know in the state of Texas, I almost fell again. I need to stop doing that.
You really do need to stop doing that. But you were saying
Right.
about the state of Texas.
The state of Texas, did you know it's illegal to put lipstick on a dog? Because apparently somewhere that was an issue. That was a
Thank you,
big
Texas.
issue.
Have you heard about that law that some guy is trying to pass in California where it's going to be illegal to kill homosexuals in whatever convenient way possible?
It's illegal to kill
No,
homosexuals?
he's applying like a vote for the ballot to make it legal just to kill
Oh,
gays
legal just to kill gay people?
with any convenient means.
Are you serious?
That's like actually a
We'll
thing.
save that. We'll save that for our next podcast.
We'll go more into depth on that sort of
it's
issue
the,
later. But have you heard about that? That's
No, I haven't heard about
insane.
That's ridiculous. Did I tell you though? Okay, this isn't
Like,
a U.S.
California is insane because actually you just have to pay like a $200 thing, and you can literally put any law you want up on the ballot to vote for.
That's all it takes. $200.
Yeah, like $200, and you can put anything. Like, that's how they got this law coming in, where it's like $200 to pass a law that would allow you to kill I don't even know the percent of the population, but even giving the right to kill, like, even if there's only one gay person in California, yeah.
Let's say 5%.
like 5% of the population, and how many scattered all about. That's just
Let's say
not right.
5% of what's 5% of, let's say, 100 million people? Let's just go with
100
that.
million?
Is that
would that be? I think that'd be 5 or 50,000.
Let's say 100%. Figuring out my numbers. No calculator. Need to learn mental math. That actually doesn't even sound close to it. 5 million of 100 million?
If you had 100 million people, 5 million.
5%. Okay, yeah, that sounds
5%,
right.
yeah. Because you have 100 million, so 1 million would equal 1%.
Yeah.
5 million. And that's just too much. Like, that's not right. Granted, nobody's going to vote it into law, but the fact that somebody can even suggest that.
Someone will vote. Someone will be like,
and
they should have been doing this 15 years ago.
Like, after you get it, he only needs 300,000 signatures.
He needs 300
to get it on the ballot.
Wow.
After you pay the fine to make it, like, a proposal, you only need 300,000 signatures. And you know there are at least 300,000 out of the millions of people that live in California. There are at least 300,000 or so that would be on board. And that's
yeah,
horrible.
I'm sure that there's somebody out there.
I'm sure that they could scrunch up 300,000. That's just not right.
Yeah, it's kind of twisted. Here's I guess we should do dead questions now?
Yeah, it's dead question time, and
alright.
Then we'll sign off.
Dead questions.
Dead questions, yeah!
Doug Benson sees us. Or Hot Pockets, whatever. Okay, so these questions come from Miss Madeline Garza, formerly of Plano, Texas. Question number 1. Oh, this is convenient. Why do high schools insist on dress codes? Because old people don't like blue hair.
Sadly true. And plus, them shoulders, man.
Oh my god.
Whew.
How many rapes have been over shoulders?
Don't even get me started on
those
feminine shoulders.
I see a shoulder and I just want to...
Those sweet, voluptuous shoulders. The way they gleam in the sunlight.
I want to pour powdered sugar on them and go to town or something like that.
I can't even.
Jesus.
Shoulders.
Why?
I have a question now about Maddie. Is she Jewish? Or did you just make fun of her because she...
No, I wasn't making fun of her because she was Jewish. It's her nose.
Okay.
Because Thomas is Jewish.
Yeah. Thomas is Jewish?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He is. He found out about it, and then he felt really bad for making all those Nazi jokes. Thomas Miller is, shout out to you, because you should be listening, because I am your friend, and you are my friend, so therefore that's how this thing works.
Shout out to Thomas Miller. He's on the Gingecast on YouTube, right?
I don't know.
I actually think he is. Shout out to Gingecast's Sam, who made this logo.
Yeah, who makes our logo. Bad Asteroid Graphics. I told him he should have kept it at Bad Asteroid Design, because then you can abbreviate it to BAD, but now it's BAG. Bad Asteroid Graphics. We got it in the bag. If you use that tagline, you owe me $20,000. But no, he's like, who's your Jewish friend? And I was like, I don't have a Jewish friend. And he's like, well, what's that chick you always walk with? She's a feminist and I was like, what does feminism have to do with anything? No, she's Jewish or whatever. I was like, are you talking about Maddie? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't think Maddie's Jewish. So one day I just asked her and I said, are you Jewish? And she said, is it because of my nose? And I was like, well, I have a friend. She's like, no, I'm not Jewish. And I was like, okay. So,
okay. You second question.
Why is Chipotle so good? Because it's Chipotle.
I've never had Chipotle.
You never had Chipotle?
No.
Oh man, come on.
No.
They do these little bowls and you put like all this different toppings and like chicken and steak. We want money now, Chipotle. We're giving you good stuff. You can just make your own sort of thing and it's awesome.
Alright. So that's what Chipotle is.
Yeah. And then our last question, oh my god.
What is it?
Can it be proven that Victoria's Secret is the leading cause of pregnancy?
Actually, I think the leading cause of pregnancy is a lack of knowledge. or a lack of availability of birth control. But
I would think, I'm just going to throw this one out here. I think the leading cause of pregnancy probably is sex.
Okay, well, those were our 3 dead questions.
But yeah, I would say that the leading cause of pregnancy is sex, because it's not like we're just,
Whoa, you're gonna hit my dog.
Oh, that would be bad, yeah.
Stop leaning back.
Yeah. PETA's gonna come and throw blood on me or something.
PETA is extreme. Like, I don't even know. PETA is insane.
Alright, well, I guess that about wraps it up.
Wraps
so
up the podcast.
We can do PETA bashing later.
Yeah,
I'm not bashing on PETA because of the animal thing. I'm all for animal rights. I just think it's kind of ridiculous. Don't throw blood on me. I'm not gonna go and take a dump on your car or something like that.
It's again with the extreme liberals and conservatives. There's just a point where you're so extreme, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're just a douchebag.
Because I mean, protecting animal rights, that's great. Animal rights is a thing that needs protecting.
Here's an idea.
Throwing blood on people is insane.
Here's an idea. Why don't, instead of making it a law to be legal to, like, kill gay people, why don't we make it a law so we just kill stupid people? Like, let's help out the population a little bit. Just, we're cleansing.
It reminds me of a picture I saw on the internet, and it's basically somebody posted a fork in an electric socket. It's just like, if you really want to clean your fork, stick it in the electric socket. And then, like, it was on Tumblr, and somebody put a post that's like, 13-year-olds are gonna see this, and they're gonna hurt themselves. And another person replied, good. And the next person replied, natural selection at its finest.
Round of applause.
And I'm just like, well, I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense.
it is what it is.
All right.
Does it suck? Yes, but should have known better.
Alright, well, that wraps up the, I guess we'll call this RandomCast.
That wraps up the RandomCast.
Yeah, that wraps up the RandomCast. So, like us, share.
Like, subscribe, share, all that jazz.
Comment, leave us comments and questions.
Yeah, leave us questions so we don't have to ask.
Throw out your names and stuff
so we don't
like
have to bum out questions from every random person we ever met.
Yeah, so do that, and check us out on Twitter. Follow us at Dead A Podcast, because Twitter only has so many characters. Follow us at Tumblr, the Dead American Podcast. Follow us on Instagram under Dead American Podcast. We're still doing our promotion where if you can prove to us that you can get us 50 followers, you can get a guest spot on our show, and a free t-shirt with a design made by Bad Asteroid Graphics. Another big thank you to Miss Carrie Kasem, formerly of The Sixth Sense. We really love you. Thank you for liking our thing. We appreciate it. And, check out A Tragedy at Hand, one of the best groups that we can think of.
Yes.
That's coming up. And, that wraps it up.